Welcome back to the Steel Division portion of World War Wednesday. This week we have new and exciting stuff, and that's why Nicholas and Roland are in the studio. We're going to try our very best to showcase a new type of scenario that's coming with the new free update, which is both available in 1v1 multiplayer but also single player.
Yes.
You've actually played it.
A little bit. We've played it a little bit, and well, it's challenging.
Yeah, I was going to say I've read the rules, and they're very different from let's say normal Steel Division rule set. In that normal Steel Division, when we play, you get a certain amount of recruitment points every minute. In this, you get them at the start of each phase.
Yeah. Yes, you get a huge bulk of.
And it's also you can't use all of the divisions, right?
No, you can't.
There's certain special limitations to it, and we will show you a game. It's essentially, the scenario is called Breakthrough, I think. It's essentially an attack-defense scenario where one player will be defending a larger area and one person will be attacking, trying to get more claw forward, get more ground.
You need to get an objective at the far end of the map, so you kind of need to push very hard.
Exactly, and we should mention that we are running this on hot code still, so there are some things that might be finicky. I know that, for example, the objectives are possibly not as clear as they will be once it's released, and it should hopefully be released tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, more importantly, for this observer mode is not in yet.
Yes. I think that's important. I heard, and I can understand it from a, like, yeah, we want to test things, let's not complicate it. But the streamer part of me is like, well, why? No, but it makes sense. It makes sense. Let's see. Is there anything else we want to cover right now? I guess we could go into the different divisions that are available here.
Yes. So, actually, you can.
So we're looking
show the different scenarios here.
Yes.
So there are 4 different maps and the 2 versions of each map, which the difference in is who's attacking and who's defending.
Mm-hmm.
And on each of them, so in this, when allies are attacking, they have the choice of the 3rd armored, 4th armored, or the 2nd blinde. I cannot pronounce French.
No. I mean, only the French can, like Eugen. They're like, it's the easiest name to pronounce.
And the Axis defenders are the 3rd Fallschirmsjäger, 16th Luftwaffe, and the 352th Infantry. It's always, the attacker is always armored divisions currently, and the defenders is always 1 paratroop airborne division and 2 infantry division.
Mm-hmm.
And noticeable as well is the attacker will always get more requisition points.
Yeah, the requisition points are the same on each phase, and the attacker always has more, except for like slightly in C phase.
But I guess that's also partly because the attacker does need to do that push.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there can't be a stalemate. If there is a stalemate, the defender has won, basically.
Yeah, we can take exactly the rule when we actually started the map. It's easiest to explain that, and also. They have remade the divisions themselves. There's far more stuff in phase A, and they have moved around a bit. For example, if you like, you can choose so many phase A tanks.
That's a lot of phase A tanks.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
In general, there's more stuff in phase A, and I haven't run an exact comparison, but. Stuff has moved around to accommodate for the different game mode.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly with the attackers, it's a lot in phase A, almost nothing in phase B, and then phase C you kind of get more units again.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see how that works out.
And it's roughly the same for the defender, like a lot of phase A stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense in that you need to have a lot of stuff in phase A, because as a defender you don't actually want to give up any other ground. So if all your stuff's in phase C, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, the deployment works kind of differently because you don't get the trickling points. In like as a defender you get 1,500 points at the start, and that's it for the first 10 minutes.
That's so that I guess we'll talk about strategy once we get into it, because since you'll be defending and Roland will be attacking,
Yes.
I'm guessing you don't necessarily want to hear what or want to say what your plan is.
No, but there's nothing wrong. Tell us your plan. Come on. What are you
After
going to
you
do?
promptly refuse to tell me anything.
I promise I won't tell.
Oh, so up on my screen, and I guess we can look at this later, but I do have your battle group. I don't know if have you seen Nicholas's battle group?
No, I haven't seen it.
Then I guess
Am I being booted?
Yeah,
now?
I guess you're being booted. I guess you're being booted.
leave.
Back to your
Do your scheming.
yes, back to your
Quick
back-
question before you leave. Who hosts?
You host is easier, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that. And so if we swap over to my screen while you set up the hosting on yours, I guess I imaginatively named your battle group test. So what's the plan here? There seems to be just on Facebook there is almost no sea stuff except for in the tank. Among the tanks here, but lots of infantry, infantry, lots of experienced Fallskärmsjäger infantry.
Yeah, the plan is basically to litter the map with anti-tank infantry and watch him try to.
Makes sense.
Try to
Makes
run,
sense. Lots of anti-tank here with Panzer and Pak 38s, and some
And the Poptions.
the Poptions.
For once, I'm actually gonna use those.
Yeah.
Can we get my
Okay.
battle groups into?
Oh, yeah. So apparently we don't have audio from your computer, which is slightly odd. So before we check anything else, let's do a quick alt tab and just see here what the.
I hear game audio.
Yeah, but that's because you hear it from my screen. Because we're watching me at the moment. Okay, so that seems to be working. Why is there no? Let's leave here quickly and just have a look at the options and see if audio is turned on. Yes, it is. Okay, that's, I guess, try restarting that thing and see if that helps. Let's see if we have any questions. Desert Wolves wants to know, will there be any division rework in the patch? Unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure about that, because I know that Eugen is really busy working on the patch.
Yes.
So we'll see if we can get some audio or not here, but just set it up, and otherwise we'll just have to deal with it. Just have to deal with it.
Yeah, now it got quiet again when.
Yeah, there's no. Okay, that's unfortunate. You know what we can do? We'll just swap computers. That's like the easiest solution.
Yeah, probably.
That's way easier than doing this.
We have the technology.
Exactly.
Then I rapidly have to ruin your.
Well, it's because you're really tall, and for some reason, I'm trying to make us slightly even. We'll see. It kind of worked out. But now, you should be able to do what you need to do over there.
Yes.
Okay. And the good thing, I was asking Roland and Nicholas previously. I was like, you might want to name it something else. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter.
I don't think it actually matters, since I think the listing is actually version based.
Yeah, so no one else.
Since we is on the test branch.
Yeah, no one else can play with us. So let's.
And that did not host correctly. Let's actually press the correct button and it will work. So
yeah.
There we go.
Okay, and I will just alt tab here and tell. Oh nope, no need. Roland's already in. Excellent. But he's there we go.
There we go.
Now you just need to select your. Such a good name. So I don't want to brag about how good I am at naming battle groups, but whoa, so good.
But yeah, there are basically nothing else you really can change here, so I will simply go ahead and launch this.
That seems smart. So, what is the plan then? I guess it'll be easier to explain the plan other than just litter everything with Panzer and anti-tank infantry.
Yeah, so basically, like the objective is for the defenders. Always you have one of these hold something. On this specific map, it's simply hold the hill. There's like a hold the steelworks or hold the chateau. That is one of the maps and such.
Yeah.
And the defender's victory condition is simply to inflict enough damage on the attacker. That is 3,000 points of damage. The attacker needs to get here and hold it for like 5 minutes.
And like I mentioned previously, this is still hot code. Some of the things that you see might very well be changed by tomorrow when the patch should be releasing. This is part of the Ace pack that I never remember what the cool name is. But I guess it should also be pointed out, just like in the closer game mode, you can actually deploy units here that are...
Yeah, you can deploy without transports.
Yes.
Which I'm happily going to use to start hiding scout units way ahead of my front lines.
You do that while I desperately try to remember how I actually get @ signs in... There we go.
If it's American, it's shift.
Yeah, I mean it's someone has been around here and changed it from my personal favorite type of keyboard, which is the Swedish keyboard, because I know where everything is there. But this is the the eternal struggle when it comes to working at Paradox. So right now, I'm guessing, how much are you going to deploy all of your resources?
Most of it, yes. As mentioned, you start with 1,500, your entire like resource pool, and you don't get anything more.
Yeah.
Until after 10 minutes.
So like, great case scenario for you here is that he can't break through your defensive points up there by the edge of your deployment line.
Yeah, right. But.
Or are you going to deploy people further back?
I'm going to deploy people further back. Like, otherwise any breakthrough will spell the end, because you won't be able to get back here in time.
Yeah.
But you really, like, defender always has the defender's advantage, but the attacker has the absolutely huge advantage that he's the one that completely determines the pace of the game.
Yeah.
Like, if he attacks, then you will have to defend. If he doesn't attack, then, well, you aren't going to be able to attack his defender.
Yeah.
And above all else, he can, if he so chooses, simply deploy all his units at like the far freaking end of it and try to sneak along the edge of the map or something. And if all of mine is up here and he gets down here, I'm just dead.
Yeah. So it's important to get some recon in there as well, now, just to see to understand where he's heading.
Yes. Let's see here. There we go. That's the flak 88 position to both chase down an aircraft and guard this one.
Okay, makes sense.
Like the main thing to remember with the Code 112 map is that the line of sight is a bit deceptive, because the hillsides actually block. So even if it looks like you have line of sight up here, you don't.
Okay.
Because the hillside here actually blocks the line of sight. So each of these like forest lines will block line of sight. So let's get the anti-tank part moving, because that's the important stuff. Let's see here.
So, but then are you planning then to kind of be spread out, so that even if he knocks out one nest, you'll be able to shoot from, or are you trying to get as many angles as possible at the same entry points?
Multiple angles at the same entry point. Like you want to try to set up kill zones, because otherwise if you allow him to fight your army piecemeal, you lose really badly.
Yeah.
You will want to try to set it up so that when they poke. That's why I'm deploying slightly. I don't want to deploy like here, because his entire arm will start shooting at you at the same time. That's why I'm deploying slightly behind the hill ridge.
Yeah. We're getting some questions about what part of the hill you have the attacker has to defend.
It's only this part.
Okay.
Like it's the area around the sign that matters, and literally nothing else.
Okay, and essentially, it's been taken by the attacker once they have control of that. Like, it's part of their colored area, basically.
Other than that, and the fact the attacker loses if he controls less than 10% of the map, but that's virtually impossible to achieve because you have no like actual pushing power as a defender. So apart from that, the actual map control percentage doesn't matter at all in this. It's only who controls this and the amount of killed units that matters. So yeah, and that also means that the attacker has far less to actually set up than the defender do. So
stop talking and deploy. At least he knows what we're doing. He's very aware of my strategy, which is just talk.
Yeah, which granted is hardly surprising because, as mentioned, all the attacking divisions are armored divisions. There will be an armored push coming, like guaranteed. Let's sneak in and hide the off-map artillery unit somewhere. Let's put it there. And yeah, let's get a move on because watching deployment stops being interesting after a while.
I'm just gonna let you get on with it then. Let's see if we have any other questions here. I'm gonna lower my chair a bit so I look less tall. Whew. But I'm glad to see me and Niklas and Roland were all at a stress lecture just now, and I feel like you're cool, calm, and collected in a way that I'm not. So clearly you got more out of it.
We're just joking around that everyone was too screaming about they're too stressed out to go to the stress lecture. We don't have time to do that.
Yeah, I was never been busy with other things. It's a stressful job working here at Paradox Intro. I know it's actually there are stressful times and other times it's not as stressful. I would argue that one of the times when it's slightly stressful is when we're like, hang on, we just did an intro and we forgot to mic up the boom mic so no one can hear us, and then also realizing that, hey, why is there no gameplay audio coming from this computer? Tiny stressful moments that were then quickly and resolutely solved by our experienced team here in the studio. Meaning I'm going to take credit for swapping computers and let Blondie take credit for connecting the shotgun mic.
Good. Okay, so what I'm also doing is essentially just deploying some infantry still in that transport, so I have essentially a mobile response force to move whatever he is coming. And actually, let's get some aircraft. Because I know he was drooling over the B-10 Marauder.
Yeah,
close air support.
So what are you expecting? What are you expecting him to do?
Find a weak point and push it like there's no tomorrow.
So you're making sure that there aren't any weak points then.
I'm trying to make sure that I can respond to any weak points. Let's see if we have good enough coverage. Yeah, I should have.
I'm really looking forward to see how this plays, because I imagine just getting your resources at the start of each phase really changes the rollout of units.
Yeah, it does. It really does. like you have slightly less to do. It's basically what happens, because you don't need to keep an eye on that at all. Which is like for good and evil, because the game can be a bit too stressful sometimes, because you can have like a gazillion things to focus on. Yeah, let's just drop one of these there. Actually, let's set a recon unit that actually has anti-tank capabilities up there.
I see that there is some talk in Twitch chat about gaming laptops versus other things. I see that Blondie says there's no substitute for building your own PC. Kind of have to agree. Mainly because I am building my own PC again. Because you always need to buy a new PC. You don't, but you're like, I'm gonna... I could have a new CPU. Here we go.
Sorry for the delay. We since we can't spectate this, we're actually playing live.
Yes.
Now we'll see if Roland's awake on the other end. And actually, that's...
So, Sheepdog wants to know why the new game mode is only 1v1, and since neither of us are the designers at Eugen, we can't give you a conclusive answer, but I would assume that this is, since this is the first type of these maps, they're possibly easier to design this way. You don't have to worry too much about you know, the widths of the map, but that's actually for them to answer. And I think the easiest way is to actually ask them on Twitter or on the Facebooks, or just get Seek to ask them, because it's a good question. So, quick push, which was, I guess, expected.
Yeah, no. What I really like with these game modes is that it is abundantly clear who is the attacker and who is the defender for very obvious reasons.
Yeah, and I see that as soon as Roland took those sides, he now has more deployment roads, right? Because he can deploy right on that side. If you zoom out a tiny bit, we could see that. Yeah, it says the land arrows weren't there before because you were controlling that territory.
Yeah, it won't matter. It won't matter until phase B, but
yeah. But also, like you said, only holding 10% seems like that's not going to happen.
Yeah, here comes his recon, which I see with my recon.
Oh yeah, it's one of those tricky things because of course yours is set to not engage. But
yeah, I'm actually going to remove that because my recon will win against these recons.
Yeah, do it.
And we'll see you get out of there. And this is actually a scenario for one of the places you kind of don't want to be in, because if he actually pushes along this road, this force will get shot from the entire part. So go stand there.
Okay, oh, you just lost sight of one of his recon units. Oh, there they are.
Nope, no. They're
fight time.
Yes, and as mentioned, mine will win. So goodbye. So the defender is very like strategical and reactive. I can't really do anything before I know what he's doing.
Yeah. I'm also, you know what surprises me, because of course I'm usually casting or just watching from a neutral perspective. So sometimes we do go in and just see what any unit, like what any player is seeing. But I feel like you don't see much at the moment. I expected you to see a bit more. Like, we don't really know anything at this point.
No. Actually, when I'm playing in like the normal mode, in a way you don't need that much recon, because you can tell where the enemy units are based on the front line. Like I know he's pushing here on the right hand side solely because the fact that it's moving.
Yeah.
And actually, based on that, let's move stuff down there. What he's moving in is, in a way, less relevant.
Yeah, I mean, it's an armor division, so it's like, it can't be that many different things.
There is an off-map artillery unit. Let's see if I can... I got the tank busters. Which way is it turned? Okay, so... Yeah. Turn it so that it moves from the side.
Yeah, here comes some tanks.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, here's the sneaking along the edges thingy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I had...
Shameful display sneaking along the edges. Well, let's see. Oh.
Nah, he deployed one. Let's see if I can... I don't think I will manage to save that. It's far too far away. I should have deployed my fighter preemptively.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh, nope. Nice.
Oh. I got away. Now I'll likely kill his instead.
Oh, damn.
Goodbye.
That was...
Go away.
I mean, very
and
strategic.
in the meantime, he did manage to kill off the...
Yeah, the
infantry on the right, so we will need more dudes over here.
And we can see that you currently have... So it's keeping track of how many... it's keeping track of destruction points, or it's keeping track of how much destruction you've managed to inflict on Roland at this point. So you're at 15, or 150. You need to go up to, is it 3,000?
Yes. Which actually means I straight up cannot win in phase A, because he has not deployed enough units for me to be able to win. Hilariously enough.
Oh,
yeah, that's not good.
No, that's very sneaky.
But I have this one back, so go kill that Hellcat, please. Actually, we probably should get the off-map artillery units to do something. Off.
Okay, let's see how
No. You get out there. You move down there, and you...
They did not enjoy that airstrike at all.
No, okay, let's see if he manages to get down.
Get in the bush.
Well, let's see how successful the off-map strike is. Come on, where did you go? There we go, finally started moving.
Oh, it's actually... Oh, it makes sense to not go up the road, I guess. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Did we have anything more I have not deployed? No.
I wouldn't say really smart, insightful commentary, but since it's live, I'm kind of caught up in the whole...
sorry for zonking out.
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand it's a prestigious matchup, this, between you and Roland. It's not like you play against each other at all otherwise.
No.
But you won the last time on stream, right? I think so. So...
No, and this is kind of the issue, because this is what happens if you don't have enough defense in depth.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's also he definitely, from our perspective, he definitely just skipped on the left side and just went middle right.
Yeah. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The defender has to. Mm-hmm. He's the one that determines where the attack will take place.
Yeah. Yeah, so now he's officially taken over the hill, so you have a countdown for when you need to take it back. we can of course see where those units are, but it does put kind of So how worried are you about that timer?
Well, phase B will start in time, so hopefully I can get something up. And actually my aircraft is now ready. Only problem is I don't even have line of sight up there. And I keep losing the line of sight before I actually can strike it.
Well, that unit... Ooh, okay. So we know that there are 2 half-tracks up on the hill at this point. But we don't know where they are, because we can't see them. He said, very smartly. So, 13 seconds.
Yeah, no, we're both still kind of trying to figure shit out here.
Oh, well, your air is doing work. It's bailed out several people.
Yeah.
And here comes the reinforcements. Not as much as in Phase A, only 150, right? Or 1,500.
Yeah.
Actually, 1,000, according to the UI.
And you were out of ammunition, so retreat.
With that said, you've managed to destroy 1,150 points from him so far.
Yes.
Which I guess is also kind of actually important to keep track of, since you know how many points he has.
Yeah, that was roughly half of his initial deployment.
Which probably means, of course, because you do want to control an area so you can push forward, but to do that also means you can't just throw everything at the. Well, that thing got blown up.
The only problem now is that the other one is behind this forest here, and my tanks can't fight his tanks. So we will have to wait for the anti-tank units. This time I have not deployed everything I have on purpose, because I might need to react to whatever the shit that comes up. And actually his tanks are really stressed out, which is good. Let's see if we can kill that mortar. Right.
Okay, and you've actually officially taken back the hill.
Yes.
Very nice. Whew.
Which means since it's phase B, let's get some artillery out here.
That was down to the wire.
Poof. And let's make sure to actually have some freaking defense up on the hill. This is kind of sort of holding up still.
Yeah, I feel like he hasn't. I don't think Roland has.
Yikes.
Well,
okay.
As we say that.
I still have like a fairly forward unit, so I know roughly.
Oh, there's more tanks coming in on the right-hand side there from Roland.
Well, yeah.
But then again, we expected more tanks.
Exactly. If we're gonna use artillery, we're gonna need munitions. We have a poption up here now, so you go away, get away from there. You actually can't do much right there because these tanks are far heavier. We still have infantry guarding that. We still have infantry guarding this.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how Airborne reacts to this. In that he had a first good push, but right now his forward forces are kind of I mean, we know that he's got more stuff there, but if they suffer attrition and actually you manage to pick a few of them off, suddenly he doesn't really have that big a force to push forward with into your hill.
Well, yes.
And this seems to be an infantry push, which run in infantry, get the tanks.
Stand there. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely trying to get rid of my flak 88 here with by pushing with infantry. And oops, there goes the forward infantry.
Yeah, you were saying there at times there were less things to focus on, but it seems like there's always two things happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, you got rid of one of the tanks.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for my aircraft to come off cooldown because.
Yeah, your aircraft, like your bomber's been doing work.
Actually, let's get one more and see if I can. Yeah, here comes the P-38 Lightnings trying to strafe the shit out of my stuff. Let's see if I can. Goodbye.
No.
If you don't move up an anti-aircraft, this is what I'm doing. Goodbye. Thanks for the 3 points.
Well.
Yeah, we have a poption back there. We have a heavy bomber. Let's bomb the infantry here because they're starting to piss me off.
That seems smart.
Yes, they did. Poof.
It seems like Roland, now that he kind of has control of that road, he is definitely trying to make the most out of it and running in a lot.
Yeah, quite a lot there.
Okay, so you're up to over 2,000 at this point. But I guess that makes sense from his perspective as well. He knows that that road won't have any pesky anti-tank
No, he
infantry.
has punched one hole and now he's trying to use it. So yeah. And he will likely kill my options now.
Let's see, on the hill. Yeah, so the hill is officially Roland's again, and since the counter is at 25 seconds now, due to that's where it left off when you took it back.
Yeah,
Turning it again. You lost it.
Yeah, I couldn't reinforce the hole.
No.
I should have tightened up that hole a bit quicker. And yes, the counter does not reset so simply because I get it back for 2 seconds. So the failing here was not tightening up that hole enough. Because in retrospect, the attack path he would take in phase B was obvious.
But I guess that's also, to be fair, we've played it a few times. I think once this gets out tomorrow and people play it more, we'll probably see the meta evolve and see what happens. But that's essentially the new breakthrough game mode being added to Steel Division in tomorrow's patch. Let's see if we can get Roland in here. I'm gonna shout at him on Slack.
No, he was in the studio.
Oh,
also,
he was. Okay.
One of the advantages actually.
There he is.
Matches in this game mode is noticeably faster.
Yeah.
Because that match was ending soon one way or another, and we were barely at 20 minutes. Standard matches can easily go all the way to 40 minutes simply because you deadlock in the middle and no one can really gain any points.
Yeah.
Here someone will be gaining.
How surprised were you that the timer didn't reset? Because I was like...
No, I knew that. I knew that.
I didn't. I was like, yes, 10 seconds, just rush.
No, so how did you feel about that?
That was fun.
Yeah.
I knew that I didn't have... the thing that I should never do is just go through the middle. So what I did is I just set up a small force to kind of distract him towards the middle, and then use the road that goes around the hill, because there's a road on the attacking side that just kind of runs around the hill that's pretty well covered by bushes. And so I tried to distract him towards the middle and then rush my main force to the side of the hill.
Yeah, and it seemed to work
for a while, and then oh yeah, it was hard. It was hard. That one on the hill, that one anti-air gun on the hill.
Yeah, I placed the flak 8 there very specifically.
It was so hard to deal with. But it was fun. Good to see that my plan succeeded.
Yes. Okay, I think for once we're gonna have a slightly shorter stream today because we don't have anything extra to show, but we did want to give you a quick look at Breakthrough. It's gonna land with some aces as well. October 26th, which according to my calculations are tomorrow. If you're watching it on YouTube, it's probably today or a few days ago, depending on when you watch this. But it's coming. Be prepared. It's either 1v1 or single player. So,
and actually, to answer a quick question from the chat, couldn't you just deploy everything on the point? Well, yes, but artillery is totally gonna wreck your shit if you clump up.
It's the clumping up hurts. I felt it first time.
Yeah. So. Good answer. I kind of got off of my spiel there. It's because of this stress lecture. But like I said, thanks so much for watching. We will see you again soon. Thanks for playing, and goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
Bye.